Trials Champion of Canada, this is Jordan Szoke! Man, they love you. I told you, you don't even have to do anything. They just love you out here. Actually, let's get into what we're talking about here with Jordan, because I'm tired of fooling around. We're going to concentrate on what we're talking about here. This motorcycle is a Szoke motorcycle designed specifically for trials. You can see that by the fact that there's no place to sit down. It's meant to be ridden standing up. And of course, it has some, well, interesting points about it aside from that. Very low gear ratio so that he can torque it up, be able to climb things without having to do it at high speed. Very low tire pressure on soft compound tires. And what he was doing right there was checking the turning radius of the motorcycle to know how he could turn, because if he knew how far the motorcycle could turn here, he can use other techniques like you see here, wheelies on the front and rear wheels, and what is often referred to in trials as the bunny hop, to be able to reposition the motorcycle to be able to go over obstacles. Because that's what trials riding is all about, is to be able to conquer obstacles that seem reasonably seem impossible for a motorcycle to do. We were getting some of the inside techniques. He needs to know that turning radius, and that the reason is because here we'll get him to go over one of the obstacles here so you get a sense of the balance, and then we'll show you how he applies that turning radius to this. You stop fooling around and get back over here. I'm trying to explain all of this to these folks. Come over here and get lined up. We got an obstacle here that's kind of a natural obstacle. Well, sort of like a natural obstacle, because trials began as a reliability test. Oh, I guess I should point out one thing. Trials is actually scored by the lowest points possible. And the way you end up with points is putting your foot down. And you might notice that Jordan Szoke has not put his foot down yet. Can I get a round of applause for him? All right, now what we're going to do is we're going to show these folks how you're going to go over this. Will you stop? Play it. We're going to go over the obstacle. You're going to take this and just drive it right over the obstacle. So here we go. Up and over top the... Give him a huge round of applause. Wasn't that awesome? Well, you know, I might have been able to manage that one. It's kind of like a speed bump. But it gets a little more difficult when you have other obstacles in front. And this is where that turning radius that you saw matters, because he needs to know how tight that turn can be. So up over the top of the obstacle, not hitting this one, and turning his way out of this. Now, using the skid plate and the turning radius, and he just seems to make it look so easy, doesn't he? Jordan Szoke showing you some of these obstacles here. Now, as I said, with trials, the idea being is that you end up with much larger, much more difficult obstacles. I might even be able to manage one of these. I'm not sure I could manage that one. In trials, after all, I'd be 2 points in the hole right away as soon as I stopped at a stoplight. I put both feet down. This guy doesn't put his foot down at all, at least we hope not. So he's going to try and climb over this one. Now, this one gets a little bit more interesting because it's kind of wobbly and slippery, and it's a little wider. He's got to be able to slide his way across the top and stuck. Actually, he's using what's called a half bridge. You got to use a little weight now. Feet still on the pegs, and look at that, ladies and gentlemen. Managed to get across that obstacle. Now, in trials, they often call these obstacles sections, and what he's going to do is reverse the section. He's going to climb back up, but the way it works on this side is a little bit more natural. And by the way, if you know what it's like out here today, if you had a look at the cars like over there, you'll see that things are a little bit wet here. The feet are still on the pegs. That's still considered to be cleaning that section. Give a round of applause like that, ladies and gentlemen. Now, it's one thing to go this way over the obstacle. It's a little different deal when you're going to ride it that way. And here's the problem. You see, he might be able to make it across here, but he's got a real long drop here. If he just drops, it's a wheelie. He's got to wheelie his way off of here to be able to land flat and roll a motorcycle. So let's see how he does here on this obstacle by changing the direction on the section. And away it goes. Look at that, ladies and gentlemen. A beautiful job right there, and a little nosebleed, and a little reverse there for you, too. Did you get a picture of that? I hope you did. Because we got a couple more to be able to show you here. Jordan, if you'd, I love this guy. He can make the thing go in reverse without reverse. Look, ladies and gentlemen, you know, I'm kind of fooling around with Jordan. I've known him a long time, but let me give you an idea of what kind of background this guy really has. You see, he's the 4-time Trials Champion of Canada, reigning Champion of Canada in Trials. He's competed for us, Canadians, in the motocross, or at least the Trials of the Nations World Championship for 10 years, which is pretty amazing on its own. But that's not the end of the story. He actually is known for going very fast and turning left. In other words, 220 miles an hour. He is a road racing champion and one of the most amazing stories in Canada. 5 times sport bike champion. 9-time Superbike champion. When you put it all together, he's got 19 motorcycle championships in Canada, the winningest champion that Canada has ever produced. Ladies and gentlemen, my friend, Mr. Jordan Szoke. You know, it's funny, we were just talking about the speed aspect of what you do and how that's actually amazing when you watch this. If you see the GoPro stuff from his helmet, it's pretty terrifying. And yet, whenever anybody asks you about road racing, somehow...
As you can see, is all about precision, and this is the greatest training tool out there to keep that.
You notice he looked at me because I'm the guy who puts both feet down at the stoplight on flat ground. You know what I'm saying? Let's make sure we say thanks to the folks that made it possible for you to be here.
Yeah, obviously the parts, Canada giving us all this gear, Sure for giving me an awesome motorcycle, and Mopar for bringing me out here to see you guys.
Ladies and gentlemen, you'll have a chance to see him at our autograph table right after the show. We'll be glad to see you there. Of course, at Parts Canada a little bit later on, but right now we're going to put him back to work. You ready for that? I say, are you ready for that? Are you ready for that? The jaws of death. Imagine, if you will, there's a boiling pit of lava between each of these. Well, that's really not true. It's more like this. There'd be like a stream or something running down through here, and he's got some rocks to be able to get over. What he doesn't want to do is drop the backside down inside the jaws of death, because the width here is not as wide as the motorcycle is long, so he's got to somehow get himself across here. Hence, what he will do is use, as you saw, a half bridge over here. It'll be a full bridge on this section. Let's see if he can pull it out. Oh, by the way, the first part's pretty easy. Second part's way harder. Let's see him get to the first bridge. Get balance, using the bunny hop to realign himself now. This is tough to be able to get this second bridge here without dropping that back wheel down. It's all about timing and balance. You can see him concentrating here now. Feathering the throttle, the brake, and he bridges it across just like that. Oh boy. You're pretty impressed, huh? You think he can do another one, but a little more difficult? What do you think? Well, let me explain it to you, and then I'll see what you think. You see, you saw the bunny hop, and you've seen the wheelie. What if we put those two things together and have him bunny hop, setting, up, 1, 2, 3. Look at that! Amazing across the jaws of death. You're going to get him to walk across here, but I'm going to add an extra level of difficulty to it. Jordan, I want you to walk the plank, but I want you to walk it very slowly. All right, let's see how he does it now. Jordan Szoke to walk the plank on the trials bike up on top, balances it out, and he managed to pull it out just lovely right there. Walking the plank, balances it out, wheelies up, and did you catch the little jump down here on the log? Well, all of that's all fine and dandy, but what if we change it up to put it on an angle? He's got a nice little ramp up entryway, and he rides up this way. And the problem is down here, you see, he's got kind of a speed bump here. So unless he really pays attention and times this right, he ends up sinking down in here. So what he's got to be able to do is somehow get himself off of here. And the only way I know how to do it, at least that I should tell you he'll do it in, is a wheelie on top of that bump. What do you think? Can he do this one? I say, can he do it? Well, he just made it look easy, didn't he? But wait a minute, you didn't get a picture of that, did you? Let's slow that down a little bit. Ladies and gentlemen, we go back to our replay cameras with Jordan Szoke in slow motion. Jordan Szoke showing you the balance. Are you guys impressed with this or what? I say, are you impressed with this or what? Are you really impressed with this or what? I know it's not a national obstacle. We just borrowed your car from the parking lot, but don't worry, we'll give it back to you afterwards. I'm only kidding. We've got it from Empire Recycled Auto Parts. When we say climb the mountain, you get a much higher obstacle. There's a number of different things that can happen here, but let me point out one thing, and that is, it is incredibly slippery up there. So let's see how he does when he walks the plank on a higher angle to the top, makes the turn. Careful up there, big fella. It's a little slippery, and he just walks it right back down. Now, if you think that's impressive, see here, he's got the tooth of this cement to be able to climb up. But on the front side of this car, all he's got is the bumper and the paint, and he's going to step up, step down, and by the way, that windshield is really slippery. So let's see how he does here now to climb his way up on top. Whoa, that was some serious error. So, adjusting his performance for the way that this thing looks. Ladies and gentlemen, you've seen some pretty impressive stuff so far, right? But you know, I think the sun is out, it's kind of dried up this area a little bit, so here's what we're going to do. We're going to have him demonstrate a technique to you called a splatter. He takes the motorcycle from a horizontal position into a vertical position, and the reason why is this is too high to jump with just loading the suspension. So he literally has to splatter the motorcycle to the side and climb up on top. What do you think? Do you think he can do it? Are you sure you think he can do it? Well, here comes you. What are you doing? What are you doing up? You're cheating. You're cheating here. Now you're all stuck up there and everything. Get off of there and come on back down here and try it. You were cheating. That's what happened. You came up here and fooled around. He's trying to cheat his way up there. You got to be able to go all the way up here, this way. That's right. So let's see if he can pull it out now. Jordan Szoke to hit the splatter. Yeah! Did you see that? Up the side of that slippery car and right up on top. Ladies and gentlemen, Jordan Szoke showing it all to you here, but we're not done yet. We're going to put him back up on top of the mountain. What? Are you crazy? You already saw how you slipped around. There's no lip here. So he's going to imagine that there's a lip here. He's going to try and launch himself up the backside of the car. He's got to splatter it and walk his way up here. That's pretty slippery there. Jordan Szoke thinking about it. Up on top. Oh, and a nose wheelie off the far side. Ladies and gentlemen, you are getting a full meal deal from the champion. All right. So what we're going to do is we're going to put it back up on top of there. We're going to do one more thing for you that I think is amazing. It's called the accuracy drop. What he's got to do is he's got to actually be able to hit a target. And it just seems appropriate to me that in Vancouver, on every street corner, they have a target production company. Well, it actually works pretty good because you see there's a little small circle on the top here. It's a little bit smaller than the width of his tire. We're going to set this down and we're going to see him hit this with his rear wheel. Are you ready? Okay, so we're going to put this down here. How's that? Is that about right? You good? Are you sure? All right. So ladies and gentlemen, we're going to count them down from 3, 2, and 1 to hit that thing in the accuracy drop. Real loud now with me. Here we go. 3, 2, 1. Jordan Szoke, hit the accuracy. What was... I did not put it in the wrong spot. That's where you told me to put it. Get back up on there. What are you doing here? Put it in the wrong spot. All right. Fine. Here, just let me make sure I got the right cup for you. I'll put it in the right spot this time. You tell me exactly where you want me to put it. Right about here? Right about here? What do you think? Are you sure? You're absolutely positive that that's where you want it to go. All right, well, hit that one, smart guy. Here we go in 3, 2, and 1. As loud as you can. 3, 2, 1. The accuracy drop. Oh, look at that. Ladies and gentlemen, he has just pounded this cup down. Ladies and gentlemen, how about a round of applause for the Ford? What? What? No. You don't need to. What he's talking about doing is he says trials originated outdoors, and he says he should show you, working over a natural obstacle. And I know what he means by that. He means a living obstacle, and I don't think that's a good idea to you. Jordan Szoke is actually going to ride over you. I mean, not on top of you, like he's going to jump you, and you'll have this picture. You okay? Okay, so we're gonna try 3. Just come and jump over here, right? And be careful. Be careful. All right, so here we go. Jordan Szoke, ready to come over natural obstacles. Here we go. Oh! What? No way. You got close enough. What he's talking about doing here is doing something else that's highly dangerous, and that is using a nose wheelie to see how close he can get to an obstacle without touching it. And he wants that obstacle to be me, and I don't think that's a good idea, do you? Of course you do. All right, so what we're gonna do is, okay, look, I'll put my feet up, and will you pay attention here? I'm gonna put my feet up right here, all right? And you come up, can you see? Okay, I want you to come up. He's going to come up in a nose wheelie. Better cover these kids' eyes, could get messy. Actually, I need your help. Can you tell me how close it'll get? no matter how close. So whoa, 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 oh, whoa, whoa. Was that not amazingly close, huh? I mean, it was like this. You can get closer? Are you sure you can see okay? All right, ladies and gentlemen, Jordan Szoke to get a little closer. Up in the nose, Wheelie. Close, 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 close! Oh, ladies and gentlemen, that is as close as I want to get. Please give it up for my friend from Brantford, Ontario, the four-time and reigning trials champion of Canada. Ladies and gentlemen, may I hear a round of applause for Mr. Jordan Szoke.
Welcome to BC. BC's awesome. It's warm today.
Where is it, Jordan?
Here, and there's none left. So I got like a little stack left over there.
My name's Scott. Nice to meet you. I used to race in Calgary in 95, 96. You showed up with that freaking six single cylinder.
Yeah, that thing was cool, eh?
That's all we talked about for months after that. Is that freaking sound that thing made in your head. Okay, then we'll get to the back.
Going up the canyon body. There you go.
Yeah.
There you go, bud. You're welcome. Thanks.